All righty, we are live. Welcome to Gasoline Garage, our Monday night edition. We have special guests tonight. We've got, as usual, Stephen Phillips from Phillips Run, Drip and Bubble Company. I'm Brett Watson from Copperhead Customs, and tonight we have Buffington from Buff's Garage. How are you going, Buff?
Doing good.
We've got some comments. We'll jump straight into the comments first, then we'll jump back to your Buff. We've got Unfinished Project, W300.
Yeah.
That's Stephen's car. We got Capital Punishment. Mohawk 62's here. Hello, everyone. Buff's here. So Burnt Finger Garage. Hello, guys. Irish Outlaw Garage. G'day. So yeah. Anyway, there's the comments. Buff, tell us a bit about your channel for the people that don't know.
All right, so I'm Buff. I have Buff's Garage YouTube channel. I'm all over social media under that name. I started out working on just vehicles that I had in my basic, arsenal of one or two cars I had. Bought a new side yard that's attached to my yard called Willow Run, and with that, I decided we needed to start filling it up. So I slowly started accumulating stuff, and I now have, I think as of yesterday, I have 12 vehicles, and slowly working through them. So I've got a 63 Pontiac Grand Prix that I have on air ride. It's LS swapped. I've got 3/4 ton Suburban that I'm always working on. My latest is a Chevrolet G20 conversion van that we are going to turbo. What else I got? Oh, I've got the
that's the blue Chevy, yeah, the blue van.
Yeah, and then I got the all-wheel drive 3rd gen Trans Am I'm building, which is not like any all-wheel drive you've probably seen. And then, of course, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, I host Pontiac Power Hour.
Now you're a Pontiac guy for sure, right?
Well, I'm an any car guy, but what happened was
right.
I got my first Pontiac on the channel, and then I attracted a certain crowd of people that really liked Pontiacs, and before you know it, people were like, hey, we want to see more of that. And then I got a co-host so that we could swap off and on who's going to do the live, and next thing you know, we have Pontiac Power Hour. So it would have been better to just be like a power hour without the Pontiac, but we have a very tight group of people that come back every week and watch the show. So
hey, I'm all about the Pontiacs, man. Down here where I'm at's where they shot the Smokey and the Bandit and all that stuff. So
oh yeah,
and then rode up watching Rockford. Now, do you know Jim Silva?
I don't personally know.
Yeah, you need to get him on. If y'all talking Pontiacs, he's a Pontiac guy. He is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually got he's got a Rockford Files Firebird, and he helped restore the one that actually belonged to Jim Rockford in the movie, in the TV series. That was his personal car. He helped restore it and give tips and stuff like that. Interesting guy, man. Very interesting guy.
No doubt.
I'll hook you up with him. He'd be interesting, especially with Pontiac.
You'd love it.
Yeah, he's up there. They got a Pontiac show going on right now up there somewhere he's doing. Let's see if I can find it.
Indian Uprising or something, isn't it?
I think that's right. Man, you're quick, Copperhead.
Sorry about the intro, everyone, guys. We were a bit flustered. We had some technical difficulties this morning, and I've been running around like a headless chicken trying to get everything to work. So that's why I was a bit flustered when we first turned on.
Yeah, we were fine. You were the one that had
to... Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel fine.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys are just talking between themselves here. Sasha St. James says, hey, all. I think she's slipped up on her southern accent there today, Stephen.
No, it's supposed to be y'all.
She's missed the Y.
Yeah.
It's meant to be y'all.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just everyone's talking to themselves, basically. So anyway, Buff, that the 65, it's a 65, yeah, your main car?
No, 63, 1963.
Oh, is it a 63? Because it looks very similar. It looks like it's got the same front as mine.
And it's not that I handpicked it or anything. It was one of those cars where I I knew I was going to get into No Name Nationals, which is ran by John Wilburn, and I didn't have a vehicle I felt comfortable building for that event. So I went to a local honey hole where he had about 1,000 vehicles sitting there, and I slowly worked my way through over about half of them. And this one was the only one that still had, wheels under it. It didn't have an engine or transmission, but it had, all the rest of the drivetrain there, which of course it was completely locked up whenever I pulled it out of there. So I was going to try to make it into a race car, but what happened is that from the rear wheel wells back was all just gone. It was all rusted out.
Right.
And the rear end was locked up. The front brakes were locked up. So I put front discs on it on the front, and then it's got a different rear end in it in the back. And then getting parts for a 63 Grand Prix is almost impossible.
Right.
So between subscribers helping me out and eBay, I was able to just slam air ride into it, and it was good enough to make it down the track. But it never did actually go down the track at No Name. It just did victory laps because I literally got it running at No Name.
Right.
It would have ran down the track, but the fuel cell wasn't bolted down yet, so I didn't feel comfortable doing that.
I'm gonna try my best to make it to No Name this year. John, I got this old Dodge or Plymouth Duster we bought. We're gonna try to get it up there and see, but it's a pretty good pull for me. But do you have a lot of fun? They say it's the place to hang out, man. Everybody that's on YouTube that I know is there. I'd like to meet everybody.
It was probably one of the biggest experiences I've ever had car related.
Right.
And I've been to car shows and truck shows and all kinds of stuff, but when you roll into an event and you know everybody there and everybody knows you, it felt like a family reunion that just happened to have a drag race.
Right.
So it was amazing. And that event this year is September 21st through 23rd in Sykeston, Missouri. So for those that are looking to go or haven't heard of it yet, that's when it is. And I mean, it's an amazing event, especially for YouTubers.
I'm all for it, man. I'm gonna try my best to get up there. It ain't gonna take a whole lot. Of course, this car I got, it's a circle track car. I'm a dirt track guy. I like dirt track, but it's a asphalt circle track. But I'm gonna take all the wedges and all that out, make it go straight.
Well, we had a dirt track car on the track last year, and it kind of went straight, kind of didn't. But
yeah, that's what this thing's made to go left. That's my only problem. I'm like Copperhead there. When I get to the end of the track, I want to turn around and go back the other way wide open,
Yeah, well, we'll just put you in the left lane. It'll be easier.
Yeah, go with that. So I don't know. But
yeah,
I think that's the way to go. I'd love to go up there and see it. Now that Pontiac, yours is a Grand Prix, right?
Correct.
And a Copperhead, what is yours? Yours is a Parisienne.
Mine's a Parisienne. I don't think you actually have them. They're Canadian.
We don't have those.
So see those? I see your on the picture on the screen there. The little front headlight bevels.
Yep.
You know how they receive sets back. So I have the same ones, and over here that's only on a 65. So
right.
Obviously, there's some few differences going on.
The Grand Prix was the first one they kind of ran with that on, and it had different roof line. I mean, the Catalina is similar, but this one had a very unique roof line, and then it didn't have as much shiny bright work on it. And then I caught a lot of crap for putting it on air ride, but I think what people don't understand is it was a matter of practicality. Getting springs for that car was very difficult. And so airbags on eBay are less than $300 altogether. And so I just air rided it. And that's my first air car. So I thought it turned out all right.
Does it drive okay on the air?
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Is it pretty?
And so that's what it looked like, the patina.
It was covered in moss. You don't see it in that photo, but it was completely covered in moss and then rust everywhere. 40 years that car sat under a tree, and the guy was a scrapper, and he would take stuff like 4-doors and wagons and scrap them, and he'd keep these nicer cars, as he would call them, just in case. He didn't build any cars. He just kept them around because he didn't want to destroy them. And this one had sat for 40 years. And he eventually started selling stuff off. And I wish I had enough money. I'd buy them all. But
is he still selling them?
Yep, he sure is. But last time I went, he had about half of what he had when I got the Pontiac.
Yeah. Of course, I know all those Mopar guys. What kind of Mopars he got?
Not a lot. He's got a couple, but not a lot.
Yeah.
He had mostly Ford and GM, and he leaned heavily on Ford.
Yeah.
But he did have a few Mopars here and there. He's got a Ford COE, like a 50s cab over that I can't imagine it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Somebody wants that.
Love them. Yeah, I want one. That's what I want to build next. Well, soon.
I've got my eyes on one that's already set up with a 20-foot bed that one of my coworkers found in a field, and I've got my eye on it. If I can pull it off this summer, I will.
It just takes
I was
money.
thinking of just getting.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking of just getting like a Hino, throwing the cab on, doing a cab swap.
Yeah, I was thinking they've got these Isuzu trucks running around here that's got a LS in them already, but an Isuzu,
NPR.
Yeah, and I figured perfect for a cab over to just lay on top.
Yeah. Is that the one you run, Steve?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you like the Chevrolet, but good Lord of mercy, you can't keep gassing that thing. Go with the diesel. Do the diesel. Yeah, we got about 8 of them around here. We run all the time. We had that 350, that one. It's still down there. I still got the truck. Man, you couldn't. I mean, it wouldn't pass the gas station at all. It was, they're pushing towards them now. But now them little, I think they're 5.2 liter diesels in them Isuzus. Same truck.
Yep.
Yeah, same truck. Man, you can't kill them things. And I swear I think there's more power in the diesel than there are in that V8.
I just need it to hold a car and maybe tow a trailer. That's really.
I'd rather have the diesel. We're fixing to build one. I've got an extra one we bought. And if you get, I don't know, if you don't get the gas and you get a diesel, get 99, 2000, 2001, or 2002. Don't go any. And I don't care how many miles they got on them, because you get into the newer ones, they got all that dang smog crap they're trying to do on it, and it's just
Are those turboed?
Yeah, they're turbo.
Nice.
Yeah, they're turbo. Not a whole lot of horsepower, but man, I run them every day, and I mean, it's got enough to pull a car easy.
I was going to say, as long as it got enough torque to go, I could do that.
Yeah, I think it's a 5.2 diesel. I'm not going to swear to it. I think it's 5.2 turbo.
Yep.
And they are tough as nail. And they got what is that? Transmission's as good as the motor. I can't remember. It's some kind of Japanese Jayco or something like that transmission. So,
cool.
Yep. So I don't know. I like the little Isuzus, and they'd be easy to put a cab on them. I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
We roll one over and we swap the cabs from another one, and the wiring harness just pulls right out underneath the dash, just unbolts, slides out. We put the other cab on it, slid and we're gone. I mean, that's how it is.
That seems nice.
Yeah. Yep. Super nice. Now you got a car that I want, man. I like these wagons. This wagon, you got this 63 O's wagon. That is sweet.
Okay, now that one's not mine. It's just one that I'm working on.
Well, you ought to be able to sell it to me cheap then if it ain't yours.
It's a subscriber's car. He gave the old phone call out and said, I've got this whole lot full of vehicles. Now it's not that I probably won't end up with it, because he's got 3 of them. I won't get the one that he wants fixed, but he's got 3 of them. And so there might be a point that he's going to sell one or both of the others. But yeah, 63 Olds. He's got the one that I'm working on is called Rhonda. And then he's got a parts car that we're going to pull the engine out of, make sure that one's rebuilt, and then put it in Rhonda. And then he's going to get her all ready, take her on, like Route 66 and car shows and that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm just trying to help him get it running. And then while I was there, I saw that 77 Caprice, and he said he couldn't get it running because it was underwater, clear up to the roof. And I was like, well, that's a good YouTube video.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's really seized. So I'm in the middle of making it run, and everybody will see that on a later episode. It's coming up.
So what do you pour down the carburetor?
I chose this time ATF and acetone 50-50 mix.
Really?
I've heard of all the different ones. This one I thought would do pretty good, but I will say that I had to pull the head, so it wasn't that great. It didn't work that well.
I don't know. We always pulled in transmission fluid. I'm like you. We always did transmission fluid or Marvel Mystery Oil.
Yep.
But I had that little old Dodge Dart. I don't know if you see we built that Dodge Dart. It was stuck. Man, it was stuck. and I feel that thing full of that PB Blaster.
Mhm.
Man, that worked good. That PB Blaster.
Yep.
Of course, it stinks. That stuff stinks, but man, I love that PB Blaster as far as breaking stuff loose. But WD-40, I don't even have a can of WD-40 anymore. That's for sissies, man.
I use Aerocroil, which is a little more expensive, but it's what I grew up using. My dad always had it. It does work about the same as PB Blaster, but for me, it reminds me of my childhood, so that's why I use it. But it works really, really well too. But I don't have the money to put that much down an engine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you guys have inox?
What's that?
Inox? Do you have that?
Mm-mm.
What's it called?
Inox. INOX.
Nope.
Yeah, I think.
No, you don't have that?
I don't.
INOX. Let me Google a picture.
INOX. Go have a look.
Google a picture.
That's what I got a cupboard full of. They used to sponsor me racing, so I got a cupboard full of it. So that's what I always use. I got like I don't know. We've got it in drums and all sorts. There's liters and liters, hundreds of.
I have seen it, but I have never used it.
It's pretty good stuff. So there's another one called Lanox, and that one's made from lanolin, which is the oil they get off a wool, off sheep.
Right.
So you can use that on your you can use it on anything, leather and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
Now that Caprice, is it a 305 or 350?
It's a 350. It was supposed to be a 305, but what the story goes is it was bought by his grandfather, and it was the demo. So you would actually go in and drive this one and decide if you wanted to buy the Caprice. Right. And because of that, they put the 350 in it instead of 305. And it's classic. It's actually pretty nice car. It's pretty unique in that some of the features aren't on the rest of the Caprices, but it was in good shape, but not great shape. And then it got flooded, and now it's just kind of a shell with a drivetrain that's locked up. So we're trying to make it run.
Well, I'd buy that if you get going. I'd buy if you don't get it going.
Oh, he won't let me. He won't let me get rid of it. It's the family heirloom.
I hate them kind of cars, man. Oh, I blown my grandma. She hated it, but we're going to keep it anyway.
Yeah. So I told him I'd help him get it running, and then we'll get working on the Oldsmobile. And in the meantime, I've got the 63 I'm finishing up, and of course the van, and whatever else wanders in.
Well, they call them at your Caprice. It's box tops. That's the Fairmonts, right? Box tops. But they call these Caprice square bodies. What do they call these Caprice? There's a name.
I think they call them the square something or other. I remember seeing it pop up one day.
Yeah. The only thing about them cars, to make them look right, you have to put like 30-inch gold wheels on them.
Jack it up so that
like skates.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way they look. That's the way I roll. That's what I want. Yeah.
You need more of a tan then.
Yeah.
I got the hat.
Hey, I've got one here. Look.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Put it on. Put it on.
Come on. Look at that.
I'm going to throw mine away. I'm going to throw mine away.
I'd have to go out to the car to get mine.
You look like a gnome.
I know. Yeah, except I'm 6'3". I think that name's little.
Yeah, that's pretty good size gnome there, I guarantee
it. All right, we've got a lot of talking between themselves, but we'll just go through a bit of a roughie here. Of letting people know who's here. We've got Mohawk 62's here. Bad Tree Productions is in.
Hey,
Turbo Tom 416. He said he's going to the No Name Nationals.
Yep.
Bad Tree was saying,
whoa, slow down.
Put a heap of dirt on the track, you'll be right.
What's he taking to the No Names?
What are you taking to No Names, Turbo Tom?
All right, keep going.
PJ's,
Bad Tree. Whoa, slow down. Bad Tree must be the one that had the dirt car on the track, because he said he dropped a lot of dirt on the track. Where was that at?
No, he doesn't have a dirt car.
He said, oh, okay. He was just talking about the dirt on the track then. I didn't know.
Yeah. He's saying he likes it in the weeds. He likes your Pontiac in the weeds. We got PJ's.
Yep.
Rusted and a Busted Garage is here. Unfinished Project here. Auto Salvage Outlaws. He's saying, hey, there's Famous Buff.
So's a good dude.
Michael Brennan, Nathan's Mopar Garage is in the house. There's a couple others I've seen down the bottom here too. The comments have been coming thick as fast. All right, PJ is saying he's not seeing much chat. It depends on whose page you're on. There's two different streams going at once, so that could be why. You can't see someone's chat, but I'll put every comment up on the screen, PJ, pretty much straight away.
Now, are you going to get that?
That's about it. Everyone's just doing a lot of talking between themselves.
Are you going to get this Pontiac ready for the No Name Nationals? I mean, you've definitely got time, I think, don't you?
The 63 is basically ready. I just got to finish the air ride setup to make sure that's solid. Put in some seat belts, and it can go down the track legally. And that's basically ready. I'm really thinking, here's the thing. When No Name Nationals comes up, I've got 2 entries. So whatever 2 vehicles are running, that's what's going to show up.
I've not even entered anything yet, but I'm worried about the tech inspection. That's the thing. Do they have to have all 5 lug nuts, or can you get away with 4 out of 5?
You should have all 5. Yes,
you can.
You got to have all 5. They were a little lenient last year because it was the first year of this event, but this year they're going to follow the recommendations by AHRA. So you can go on ahraonline.com. All the rules are there. I mean, it's cut and dry, exactly what you have to do. If your car's fast enough, it's got to have some type of cage. It's got to be certified. You've got to have seat belts. You got to have a helmet. Those are all just kind of the basics. But if you got a real ripper, it's going to take a little more. But if you got, your regular daily driver, seat belts and a helmet, you're pretty much good to go.
Okay, I'm good then. That's about all. I don't think this thing's going to get too much through a quarter. I really don't. But I don't know. It was built for circle track, so it'd probably do. I mean,
right.
I'm thinking
there's always the burnout competition, which is, that Friday night they do it. They put on the big lights, and it's a massive burnout area, and it's a lot of fun.
I just hope. I'm thinking I can bust 50 through a quarter. It is quarter, right? Or is it 8?
It's an 8. It's a really long 8. So you got the 8 that's timed, and then you got a lot of run out on the other end.
Right.
Otherwise, send it in the burnout comp. Stephen, go start soaking your tires in diesel now.
I could do that. Swap my wheel.
Oh, yep. Jay's right. No antifreeze. So if you're running antifreeze, they do provide you an area to dump your antifreeze and fill with water. But yeah, you're not running antifreeze on that track.
What's Irish Outlaw Garage? What's he running? What's it? The other guy say what he's running? 1916 Model T. Is that what I see? Is that what he's running?
Somebody else is. Yeah. Turbo Tom's bringing it.
Turbo Tom says a 1916 Model T Ford was my great-grandfather's touring car original owner.
All right, well, if that's what he's racing, I want to race him. I believe I could outrun a 1916.
I think you should race Irish Outlaw Garage, because if he brings the ambulance again, you could probably take the ambulance.
He's got an ambulance?
He's got an ambulance. It's peppy.
What is it?
You'd ask me. I know it's a Pontiac ambulance, 60.
Oh, so it's like a wagon then.
It's a big one. Yeah, it was an ambulance or a hearse. It was several different things.
Well, that's the thing about it. People don't understand. My daddy used to work for Cobb County Police back years ago, back in the 50s and 60s. Well, the 60s, I guess it was. And back then, they didn't have rotation when they call. You didn't have it like, you call rotation for, you're in the medical field. So they call rotation for ambulance, or not ambulances, but tow trucks or whatever. Back then, the hearse done both. It was for the funeral home and it was the ambulance. And they had several different funeral homes around the area. So when they got a call, they had the race to the wreck to see who got to haul the person. Yeah,
that's not how it is anymore.
No, they quit that. But that one guy down there, he had a probably 65 Pontiac or 66 Pontiac, and he had that thing built. It had 3 2s on that thing, and he said that Pontiac would rock and roll, and it was long wheelbase with a handle. And
oh yeah, Jay's right. It's 68 Pontiac,
68
Superior. That thing is massive, but it runs. That thing would it's almost as fast as his AMC that he's got.
I've got to go to his channel.
Is that look like the Ghostbusters looking thing?
No.
Yes.
It's not exactly like Ghostbusters is earlier in the
but similar like sort of.
Ghostbusters like 58 or something.
It wouldn't have the tail fins on it, but it's going to be the big high top and long roof and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good looking car.
Everything Guy says he's got a 74 Ford Pinto station wagon.
I can outrun a Pinto. I know.
Irish
Is it a
Outlaw
V8
says
car?
Rain 11's untuned.
Yep.
His
And on
ambulance.
7 cylinders too. He dropped a cylinder or a spark plug.
Really?
So I think that's pretty good for an ambulance.
Oh yeah. Have you got it there?
It'd weigh heaps, wouldn't it?
What now?
It'd weigh heaps.
Okay, I don't understand.
The ambulance would weigh heaps.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. But
It's
once you
super
got it
heavy.
rolling, man, you got momentum behind you.
Yeah. Mohawk says it's.
Yeah, that's what they say when I start running.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now on his channel, man. That is awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah, if you guys aren't subbed
Send me
to
the
pretty
pictures,
much
I can put it
everybody
up.
in the chat, go do that. Especially, I just got done helping Jay with Irish Outlaw Garage this weekend, and we jumped in and helped Dalton from Pole Barn Garage get a couple of transmissions swapped. And I'm sure that video, both of those videos are coming out, and there's going to be just lots of good stuff coming out soon.
I try to subscribe to everybody that
Yep.
And that's the thing. I thought I'd subscribe to him, but I didn't. I'd remember this, but I am now. I'm subscribed to him now. But man, that hurts. That's cool.
Yep. And he's got, he's got Blanche, the Ranchero. He's got Jeeps. He's got Mustangs. He's got Oldsmobile, Oogie Boogie. I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff. Like
where's he located at?
20 plus. He's in Illinois.
Okay.
He's got like 20 plus cars, and that thing is pretty much all of his run and drive. So he is far and above better than I am at mechanicking.
We just hit or miss.
Yeah, he said it's an eeny, meeny, miny, mo as far as what he can bring.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
I've been watching him do the last one I've seen of his. He did the. I don't know what car it is, but it's got a crushed roof, and he was.
That's the Buick.
Pumping all the roof back out.
Yeah, he just had a Buick.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got a Javelin. That's what I'd bring.
Yep. Well, he brought it last year. Javelin ran great, and he's going to bring the Javy on Power Tour this year.
You know, they had them Javelins that year, 73 or 4. They had the big fenders. You know, I love them big fenders on them cars. But they actually used them for state patrol cars out west. And they said they had a problem after it got so fast that them fenders would fill up with air and the front end would get light.
Oh.
And they'd cut holes in them fenders to let the air out of them. I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, you wouldn't think about it collecting air, but they did. And they would make the front end of them cars light. But they're wicked looking.
There you go, Jay. You need to cut holes in your Javelin.
Yeah, only if you're going at high speeds for a long period of time.
That's the one car he's got that's the nice car. Like, they're all cool. Right. That's like a really nice car. And, you know, everybody that sees it, they know it's a good car.
Yeah. Well, that Pontiac you got ain't nothing to shab over. That's a good looking
rig. Well, but I think his even has AC. I don't have AC.
Oh, man. You know, I remember being a kid. When you bought a car, the first thing we do, we'd cut the air because that's like 3 horsepower. We needed all the horsepower. Man, nowadays, that's the first thing I do is put the air back on one.
Right. Trust me, I built my 63 with the idea that with an LS in it, I could just throw the air back on it. It'd be easy. Right. But I just drove from Missouri to Oklahoma to participate in a truck show with my buddy Chad from Square Body Stuff. And I had my arm out the window the whole time. So I got perfect little farmer tan.
There you go.
From sticking my arm out the window the whole way.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Jeez.
And that one had AC, but I just stuck my arm out the window.
Yeah, I got to where I love it. But that was the first thing we done. We'd cut the air on, cut the belts on them things. We wanted that extra 3 horsepower. And back then we thought we were so bad. And now we got V6 Mustangs, brand spanking new with over 300 horses. And I'm like,
right,
kidding? This sucks.
So that's the inspiration for my conversion van, because everybody wants to hate on the V6, and I understand, because there's nothing like a V8. There's nothing like a Pontiac V8. Right. But I got this conversion van. I got it really cheap. They basically wanted a few $100 and some Buff's Garage shirts, so that's what they got. Right. And in exchange, I got this van that came from a family member who was quite the ladies' man. We'll say that. Until he had a medical condition that took him out of driving. You could tell he spent a lot of time chasing the ladies in his van. But when I get there, it was a V6 van. So I was a little down. It's a couple hours from me, so I couldn't look at it before I agreed to buy it. But when I got there, it's like V6. However, it's a 4.3 liter Chevy V6, which is
a good motor.
That's in, your GMC Cyclone, and those are turbocharged. So we have decided, I say we as a group of collective car guys have decided we can turbo this thing and get just a few extra horses out of it. And it should hold up pretty good.
So let me ask you this question. How big? Of course, I don't got a problem with that 4.3. I mean, that's a good engine, especially if you're going to drive it. I mean, I can't go wrong with that. But how big a deal is that? I understand it's not a – okay, the reason I'm asking this, my boy has got the same – what model is that, 91, 92?
Mine's a 92. It's going to look like a 70s when it's done, but right now it's a 92.
I like the looks of a 92. I like the 4 headlights, if that's the one I'm thinking of.
That's what I got. Yep.
He's got a 91 or 92 pickup truck, little step side pickup truck. Oh yeah. And it's got the 4.3 in it, but man, the valves on that thing is rattling and all that. We're thinking about dropping the 350 down in it, and I think it'll bolt right up, will it not?
It'll bolt right in. So will the LS. I've got an extra LS laying around. So I'm trying to avoid the LS swap. However, if I blow up the 4.3 by turboing it, then I'll just drop the LS in it and we'll call it good.
Well, that LS is an easy deal right now.
Yep.
I mean, and you can buy
if I have one laying around, it's easy to do.
But you can buy like an old beat up Suburban and get the whole shooting match, can you not?
Yeah, I've got one in my yard.
Yeah.
I've got 2 Suburbans in my yard, actually.
Right.
One's got the 350 and the other's got the LS.
Yeah. Do y'all have a lot of rust up there where you're at? You're what part of Kentucky? You're in Kentucky, right?
Kansas. Yeah, but still plenty of rust, yes.
Right.
This van I got looked pretty good in photos, but what you don't see is underneath those fiberglass running boards,
right?
It's gone. There's nothing there. It's all rusted out.
Right.
So I'm going to take a page out of Pole Barn, and we're just going to throw some metal in there and hit it with a hammer a few times and bend it into shape. And we're going to, throw some, I guess he uses, fiberglass and a little Bondo. Right. And we're going to shoot it with tractor paint.
Yeah.
But he agreed. What day is this? This is Tuesday. He agreed Sunday or Saturday. This is Monday. That's right. So he agreed Saturday. We're going to shoot it with tractor paint. So
that's the best paint in the world.
That's coming up. Yeah. You're going to see me bringing this thing home. You're going to see me cleaning it up. And the next thing you're going to see is doing some body work and making it 70s retro. I mean, we're going big wide tires. We want to do side pipes on it. His dad does airbrushing. Dalton's dad does. So we're talking, do we do
that's cool.
Do a big Panther on the back? Like we don't know what we're doing yet, but it's going to have tractor paint.
The velvet.
It will definitely have some shag in the back. I know that.
Oh, let me ask you something. Now I keep seeing your tag over there. That CNH 320. That's Duke boys, ain't it? You a Duke fan?
I got 2 of them.
Oh, there you go.
So for Dukes of Hazzard, they actually had 3 tags. This is the 2 popular ones.
Right.
So those came out of, now I can't even remember his name. There's a guy that makes all of these Hollywood tags for movies.
I know the guy you're talking. I know I don't know his name, but
I've heard about that.
I know his name. I just can't think of it at this moment. So somebody in the comments will tell me.
Thousands of tags.
Yep.
So you big Dukes, you like the Dukes of Hazzard, like
of course.
Of course.
I'm telling you. So my New Year's resolution this year was I was going to meet John Snyder. Right. I was going to hang out. I want to slide across the hood of one of his cars. Unfortunately for me, I was doing good, kind of getting interaction with him online, but then his wife passed.
Yeah, she just passed.
So I'm going to just kind of chill for a little bit, let him work through that, because that's got to suck.
Yeah.
But if he's starting to feel good by the end of the summer, fall, I'm definitely going to find a way to, go to an event and meet up with him, because that was my goal this year, was to meet John Snyder.
Yeah. Well, I can probably help you with that.
All right.
Yeah, I can probably help you with that.
I want him to get through his,
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I kind of sad that deal with John. He had a pretty bad marriage, and then him and her got together, and they were just rocking and rolling. But
oh yeah,
he just had that birthday bash. That was the thing he should have went to. That birthday bash he had down at his place.
That was the plan originally, but when his wife passed, I decided I was going to just hold off.
Right.
And then he went ahead with his birthday bash anyway, which I was surprised. So I hadn't asked off for it. So I still have to get some days off to go.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd have been there. No doubt. But I'm sure I'll be able to catch him later in the year.
Yeah, he's out. He's getting back out. He's I don't know. It'd be tough to get through. But yeah, I like the Dukes, and
Oh yeah,
and stuff. But
I mean, I was that kid jumping the General Lee over the couch cushions when I was a kid, and making little dirt ramps in the yard. I mean, to me, that's what you were supposed to do. And when I started driving at 7, I was out in Grandpa's field with his Chevy Love, throwing it sideways in the cow patties and just having a good time.
I thought you were going to say you were sending it over a jump.
Yeah,
I may or may not have hit the pond dam once or twice.
My Hawk
you
62
learn real quick
is
if you jump over a pond dam what the car can take and what it can't.
Yeah.
My Hawk 62 is asking if it's Ford blue. You're going to paint the van?
No, I don't believe so. We're going to definitely go with a blue. Being that it's tractor paint, we may have to custom mix it, and we're going to try something new. So if we can't get metal flake that'll actually do what we want it to do, then we're probably going to try to throw metallic in tractor paint and see how that turns out. But he's not done it before, and Dalton really wants to experiment. But we're talking right now, metal flake, basically disco ball. It's going to be pretty ridiculous.
Oh, that'll work. That'll work.
And then when you fix it,
when you see it rolling up, you're going to think one thing. And then when it starts spooling up and you're the turbo, then, you'll be like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Well, the airbrush stuff, man, you got to have that all over it. That's got to have. You got to.
Yeah, if his dad's willing to help, we'll definitely airbrush something on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, back growing up, they call them conversions van now. They were hippie vans is what we call them. Or custom vans, man. Everybody had them. There's one guy. This is something was really cool, and they done a lot of custom vans, but he sprayed the bottom of the van from on a Dodge. It was a Dodge van, and the bottom down, like where the wheels are at, it's got that ridge that goes around. He painted that, and then they took their fingers like you do finger painting. You know how kids do, and they just done that all over that, then cleared it. That was the coolest looking thing. And they just done it with, you've seen them do finger painting, but man, that was a cool. Then on the side, it had the big airbrush thing on the side of the van. It was cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Dingle balls and all that good stuff. So
yep. It's got a theme, so we're trying to stick as close to the theme as possible, but at the same time, we don't want to rule out some pretty awesome ideas. So when people have ideas, I'm definitely listening, but at the same time, I kind of want to keep it steered towards a certain theme just so that people recognize it.
Copperhead, what are you laughing about? You leaving us out of the loop somewhere?
No, I was just laughing at your dingle balls.
You gotta have dingle balls. You can't have no conversion van without dingle balls.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe that was in the 70s when you were smoking something.
No, I was just a kid in the 70s. I'm not that old. You're older than I am.
Oh, come on, Granddad.
Yeah, we got that airbrush.
Fix it. Said an airbrush mural of Buff jumping the van over a creek should go good on the van door. And he also said that he's just finished replacing an intake on his V-dub dual port motor, but he doesn't know why because he doesn't have a car for it.
I know how that is. Wait, you'll get one. Just give it time. I'm thinking more like, Buff, this would be cool, like to have like the hood of the General Lee and you jumping across the hood of the General Lee in a Tiger Man outfit. You know what I'm saying? With like bull horns, you skidding. That'd be cool.
We should do that on the Trans Am because I was going to go Knight Rider with the Trans Am, but the closer I get to actually building it, the more I'm thinking Mad Max style.
Oh, there you go.
And so it needs to have like an American twist to it.
So tell me about that. You're going to run it. You're going to build it's going to be full. Is it going to be like you're just going to put the car on the frame?
Nope.
You're going to put the run.
I'm cutting out the front suspension, the torsion bars, the rear of the Suburban has a 4-link style suspension in the back.
Right.
And so I'm just pulling all of that out of the Suburban, and I'm going to try to figure out how to engineer it under the car and make it look right. And if I can make it look right, then the only thing I got left is to make drive shafts, cut out most of the floor to make it all fit, and then call it good.
Well, that would be pretty cool. I know a lot of folks just chunk the body on top.
Right. But then you end up with a Trans Am that's like 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And I want it to be about 6 inches off the ground.
Well, that's going to be That's going to be a big undertaking. Yep.
Yeah, that's why it's still sitting where it's at.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I have a cutoff wheel, I have a torch, and I have a welder, so it will happen.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
It's only metal. It's only metal.
Exactly. That's how I built the 63. Was a lot of cutting and welding, and I figure this other car is in better shape, so it surely would go easier. But then stuff like the van comes along, and it's like, well, that's easy to fix. I'll do that, and then I kind of side trail onto that for a while. I'll get back to it. It's sitting there half taken apart. It's going to come back together soon.
I'm like you. I get started on something, then I get something else that comes through that's a lot easier, quicker to do, and I think, well, I'll just jump on this right quick.
It was easy when I had 4 cars. Now with 11, 12 now, it's a little harder because then you go like, well, I can fix this one now.
Okay, Rusted and Busted. I ain't subscribed to them, but I am now. I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to them. I'm checking these while we're talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
They're all good folks.
Mountain
Ballistics is here. That guy, whew, he loves his Pontiacs for sure.
This guy's got some cool Pontiacs. Or he's got, what is that, 56? I guess it is 56 Pontiac Chieftain. Right? What is, I guess.
The pink one on PJ's.
What now?
PJ's.
Yeah.
Rusted and Busted. You talking? His pink one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's white.
Oh, he's got a pink one too.
I guess it is pink and white. Well, they used to paint cool cars. Cars was cool back in the day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some cool cars. That's the thing. Cool colors and all that. They're kind of coming back, though. If you notice, the new cars now are painted to the cars back in the 40s, just flat. I mean, they're either green or they're blue or, I think that's good.
And I just got back from a truck show in Oklahoma, and I couldn't believe the amount of ways people were coloring vehicles now. Like old stuff that probably never looked the way it did, and of course now has pretty remarkable paint jobs. Stuff that, I mean, half the paint jobs at that truck show cost more than my entire collection. So it was just crazy. Half the wheels there cost more than my entire collection.
I know how that is. We try to paint ours best we could, but man, I can't do that. It's not that good of a painter.
There was one truck there that's been painted like 7 or 8 times, and each one of them is probably a $30,000 to $50,000 paint job every time.
I just got Sam Mountain Ballistics. I got him subscribed to. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I've got my niece she had a prom last weekend, and I've got an 82 Corvette, and she's wanting to drive it. And I thought, well, we'll just throw a quick paint job on it, And the nose were, the Corvette's got a real long hood on it. People pull up and they stop, and then they pull on up and just crunkle the nose. So it chipped off, and I thought, well, we'll do that. So Johnny goes over when I'm not there, and he pulls the nose off of it, and he starts sanding. He's like, man, we don't want to paint this car. There is 5 layers of paint on that Corvette. Over the years, they just taped it up and painted over it. And I thought, man, because, that fiberglass, you sand all day long, can't get down the metal, So
right.
We just patched it up here, there, and y'all. I'm just going to let it roll. I'm just going to let it go. I'm happy with it. It's what they call them, 20 foot away.
20 footers.
Yeah.
20. The problem is they spend 30 grand on their paint job, and then I'll rock up in this.
Right. Exactly.
Everyone will come and look at my car.
And that's exactly what happens to me. I roll up with the 63, and no matter what's around me, people come up to the 63, and it's all got 40 years of patina on it.
Right.
And then like running with Dalton. So I've got my car sitting there, and it's got all the patina, and it's on an air ride. It looks cool. And then Dalton's got the Holy Goat, which has been shot somewhere around 5,000 or 10,000 times. It's got bullet holes all over it. And people always go to his car, which is far worse looking than mine.
Right.
I think people are attracted to garbage.
I don't think so. I think people are tired of the same old. I think people like something different. That's what I'm all about. I go to a car show.
What I'm into. If it's not what everybody else has, I'm kind of into it.
I mean, I've seen enough 55, 56, and 57 Chevys to last me for a lifetime. I mean, I could care less.
I watched this thing last night at a car show, and it was just all Chevelles. Like, we don't have them here. So I thought they're not bad, but that was just Chevelle.
It was all square bodies. Like that, There was a few that weren't, but it was almost all square bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I need that.
Yeah, 50 grand.
but it's got to come with a ticket to come get it.
There you go.
Yeah, well, you give me 50, I'll send you over.
Don't think about it. Pick up another car. Where at? Australia.
You go to Australia, you might not come back, man. Everything down there will kill you.
Well, yeah, that is true. I mean, I lived in Alaska for 10 years, so it's not much different up there.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's worse.
No, it's
Could be.
worse where you are.
I don't know.
At least in Alaska, they hibernate.
They've got
Yeah,
Bigfoot
definitely.
in Alaska, haven't they? The Sasquatch.
Yeah, I didn't have one try to eat me, but bears, yes. Moose, yes.
Oh, we
No,
got
the
Bigfoot here in
Sasquatch.
Hiawassee, man.
They
Where
talk
I'm
about,
at.
yeah, Bigfoot.
We got Bigfoot here. We got a Bigfoot museum about 20 miles from my house.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bigfoot
don't
right
say
here.
that.
I need to go check
The
that
wife
out.
believes in it, I think. I think the wife believes in
Do you
Bigfoot.
not believe in Bigfoot? You really don't?
But you're being serious?
I
He's
saw
a feral, hairy, 6-foot bloke running around out there.
I
He's
saw a
gone off
photo
road.
the other day that said there's a reason why we never see the footprints, and it's got Bigfoot riding a moose. That's how we don't see the footprints.
That's probably right. I think Bigfoot is. I'm like, you know, that Packy on the radio. He thinks Bigfoot's blurry because every picture that's took of him, they're blurry. I think he's just blurry. Makes sense, you know, because there's never a clear
Bigfoot's too
shot.
old to be in HD. He's definitely not.
Oh, y'all gonna tell me y'all don't even believe in aliens? I bet.
Irish outlaw. If I can't set my beer down on my cars, I don't want them.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, so fancy paint causes stress. Yeah, so when I've had fancy painted cars, I don't actually enjoy them because I don't want to drive them or take them anywhere, or I don't want to go to the shop in it. Someone might scratch it, or I've got to go wash it before we can go take it out.
That's why I'm okay with.
Whereas these other ones, it's like, who cares?
If I tractor paint the van, it's not going to make me itch near as bad as if I actually had it painted right.
No, you can't get tractor paint off with a chisel, man. You
That's
you're
what I'm
good with
saying.
that. Yeah,
We'll just put it on there and walk away, and if it gets scratched, oh well.
yeah. I'm with you on that. But that tractor, I paint.
You got to paint. I got a whole paint thing like Stephen, and then but I'm one of the Oakland I'm building. I'm painting with a roller because I want the look. I want it to look.
I painted that the Bluesmobile. I painted it with tractor paint.
I could definitely do a roller. I think I could. I'm not going to do it on the van, but I could do it on something.
Nah, ain't that big a deal. That like I said, we painted the Blues Brothers car. It's painted in tractor paint. That's what it is. And
maybe I'll paint the Trans Am with a roller.
all you gotta do is put enough on with
the Outlaws. He knows where Bigfoot is.
Hey, Outlaw, I'm coming. Auto Salvage, I'm coming, brother. I want to see him.
Yeah, you go down that
Michael
way. You might not
Beenan
come back.
wants who you want Stephen to do the Vegemite?
No,
challenge
I'm
again?
not like Copperhead. You ain't got to dare me. I won't do it. I've got enough sense to say no. Yeah, I done big enough.
Aviation DNA. Bigfoot is an alien.
See, that could be. That could be.
I mean,
and Fox can fix it. Is he agrees with Irish about the
can't say his beer on.
Can't put your beer in your car. I don't want it.
If you're too afraid to drive it, it's not worth it.
So I used to build bikes years and years ago. I used to build Harleys. Yeah, so I built this crazy one, like one every show. I put it in, and it's a pretty nice bike, but I think I only did 300, or wouldn't have even been 300 miles on it. I just didn't like, and I ended up selling it because it was basically just something to look at because I didn't enjoy riding it because I put so much time, effort, and work into it. So after that, I'm like, I'm not into this doing, taking things to that extent. So like now it's, like you see what I build, I just whack them together, and I actually really like it. Like this that I'm doing now has no paint, and I love it because I think it looks phenomenal because you can't paint what that thing has, like all that texture and all the different, like in the one I've got now, all the rusty browns that are in, and then you like oil them and they all start popping, and there's that much color and texture in it that you can't replicate that. Like,
well, I mean, if you're doing something like Chip Foose, I mean, if you're gonna build that kind of car, them trailer queens, there ain't no fun in that, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you take it to the car show or just down to the local cruise, and the kids want to get in it or they want to touch it, you're not that guy that's freaking out. You're like, let them jump in there. Let them
do whatever.
Yeah, let them do it. And I tell you, that's how we keep the next generation going, because right now with electric cars and all this stuff coming out, we're losing that whole, lifestyle. Yeah. And I've seen it. There's still kids out there that are into it, but we're losing it because you got one or two for every 100 that actually want to still drive an old car. before you know it, they're all going to be sitting back, letting the car drive themselves. And I mean, we're there now, and it's unfortunate, and we got to keep that alive. And the only way to do that is to let them play in the old stuff.
You know, it's like I'm into planes too. My boys fly, and I love planes. But you go to a plane show, man. You go to an air show, and they're got get in it. Yeah, check it out, touch it, and all that. But you go to a car show, it's like, don't touch my car.
Right? Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
My favorites whenever I mean, being YouTube has definitely opened doors for me, literally, because I'll walk up to some of these show cars that are worth more than my house, and they'll tell me, hey, I'm saying, I'm with YouTube. I want to be able to shoot your vehicle. It's going to be on my channel, that kind of thing. And they're like, go ahead and get in it. And I'm like, awesome. And then there's others that are like, well, just stay behind the ropes. I'm like, you're probably not going to be on YouTube. I'll get a shot of it, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys.
Well, when at racing, at the end of the night, that's what I used to do. They'd come, the kids and the parents would come through and want to get a photo next to the car or something. And I'd say, oh, throw the kid in it, like jump in, and then that kid would, he would be like drooling just about, like that he got inside this 900 horsepower race car,
and Dad's standing over there going, why am I not getting to do that?
Dad would say, Dad would be trying to kick him out so he could get in, like, you know, like.
Because we're all just kids.
So to me, it was nothing, and it's like it's a dirt car. Like you can't hurt it unless you hit the start button and take off. You know? That would make their day. You know, that they got to because they're never going to get to sit in one sort of thing. So and it's like.
Well, I think that's another thing about these no-name nationals. You actually, instead of going up there in your car sitting there all day long, you get to get in and play and have some fun. That means a lot. You know, they got I helped do a show down in Emerald Coast Cruising. I IMC it down in Panama City Beach. And this year they're actually going to go on I think it's a Thursday night. They're all going to cruise out to a drag strip, and everybody's going to get to do their cars at the drag strip. And man, everybody's excited about that because you get to see them, you know, sitting there, but then you get to hear them going down the track. So I think that adds to it. I like to see them in motion. That's why I'm kind of excited about the no-name nationals.
Yep. And the best part is spectators can show up and, I mean, get to walk right up to all these cars, talk to their favorite YouTubers. If they have a helmet, they can ride as a passenger in one of these cars going down the track. I mean, there's just so many opportunities to interact, and they get to walk up and watch the burnout competition, bracket racing. I mean, even the monkey bikes where the little mini bike things they're going to use. Everybody can.
Wait a minute. Whoa. What is a monkey box? What is that?
It's really like small little motorcycle. Like it's really, I don't remember the exact brand. I think it's a Coleman, but
I got a Z50. Does that count?
I think there's rules on the No Name website of what counts. It's got to be one specific one. You can't modify the engine, but there's a lot of stuff that isn't listed that you can modify.
Hey, I'm like Smokey Unix. If it's not in there, then it's doable.
That's exactly the thought process. They'll tell you what you can't modify, but everything else is fair game.
Yeah.
And so people did some pretty interesting stuff. I mean, one person even tried to turbo one or supercharger, I think is what it was. Tried to supercharge it, but in goal is, you know, be the fastest bike down the track. They can do burnouts with them. It's all pretty good. Oh, Aviation says Z50. I don't remember which one it actually was that they it was a Coleman one that they called the official monkey
one that you do on that. Yeah, that'd be cool. I could race that. I can handle that.
And it's a good time. I mean, we had people oil down the track. We had people blow out their tires on the burnout. We had all kinds of crazy stuff happen. And, you know, it was just a really fun weekend. It was so good that they've extended it one board day. So we now have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not just Friday, Saturday.
That's the only thing about me riding one of them monkey bikes. I'd look like an elephant riding a tick going down the road. I don't know, man.
It's all about speed. You got to tuck it in and get aerodynamic.
That's a good one. Elephant on the tick. Hey, the wife came out with a joke last night, and I lost it. And so, Stephen, what's a
Oh, come on, man. Don't do us that way. If it ain't funny, you're going to have to laugh anyway.
It was, wait, give me a second.
Oh, come on, man.
He's got to compose himself.
Let her tell it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. What's a redneck pickup line?
Get in the truck.
Huh? Nah, that's what I said. And it was like, nah, I love your tooth.
There you go. That's
Your tooth. Your one tooth.
yeah, I got you, man. I got you. You're talking to a bunch of rednecks
You
here.
didn't
It's not
find that
good.
funny. I was rolling around in the.
We're all
on the
rednecks
floor with
down here.
that.
We don't think that stuff's funny, Copperhead.
Oh, sorry.
Let me tell you an Australian joke. One time,
You called me a redneck. It's just I got a full set. Anyway, all
Are they
right.
real?
So I took it to the gutter. It didn't work. Whatever. Anyway, we've got. I'm going to tell the wife you didn't find her joke funny. She's going to be very upset.
I thought it was funny.
Fox Can Fix It says, I think you should only paint a car with no engine with a roller. You know, roll a roller. That was his little bit of pun. Deborah is loving life, says hello, everyone. Auto Salvage Outlaws. He's seen something here a few years ago that was about 12 foot tall, and Harry and I dropped my gun and took off. And then he said, and it stunk. So
And
that's he reckons he knows where Bigfoot is.
I'm not going hunting with him if he dropped his gun and run away.
Mohawk 62 is talking about takes him 4 hours to polish his bike front to back, and so he's with me is in doesn't like to ride it afterwards. Mohawk 62 spent more time in the pits than he did in the stands. Fox and Fix It said he only likes cleaning the instrument panel and the windshield. The rest of it doesn't matter. And
hey, read that one on down there. A couple of. Oh, you skipped it.
Fox Can Fix It. Is he? What do you have with the? Sorry. What do you have when there's a whole redneck family in a truck? A full set of teeth. Sorry.
That ain't funny.
Fox, I'm telling you, we know who you are.
Everybody wants to be a redneck. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody wants to be a redneck. Yep.
There's nothing like riding in an old truck. I'm just saying.
I'm with you 100%. Yep, I'm with you 100%. Copperhead, I'm about to wrap this thing up, man. I have got to go.
Yeah, we've been an hour, so
yeah, we've
so
been.
Thanks for coming on, Buff. It's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Thanks for having me,
Buff. I've got you. I've been following you, man. I've been keeping up with you on all this stuff you got going on, and
I got 3 videos coming out over the next 3 weeks, and we're covering a truck show. We're going back to the Caprice to get it running, and then of course bringing the conversion van, Brian Vantana, back home. And then, of course, there's coming the turbo build and the Trans Am build. And I got lots of content coming. And, of course, events. I've got No Name Nationals, duct tape drags, and whatever else pops up this year.
Whoa, what's a duct tape drags? I've not heard of that.
That one's Motor Trend. It's in Tucson.
Oh, that's too far for me.
Yep.
Hey, Stephen, can you just go into your comment section?
I can try. I got somebody saying.
Can you go into
North
it?
Carolina.
Yeah, can you just kick them out?
Oh, I have to do that.
Yeah.
Are they on my chat?
Oh, yeah. You got a bot.
Oh, is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do it from here, man.
On the side of the comment, I think there's 3 dots.
I see that.
Click on that, I think.
Did that do it? I should have done it.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, I should have done it right there.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Why do we get them, man?
Because you're popular.
I don't know.
I mean, I've had people, I've been watching their YouTube channel and to pop up there, hey, you won $10,000.
Yep.
You know, send me the money.
And people do it.
Yeah. So I go ahead and sign up to it because my credit's terrible. I figured I'll just run those.
That works.
So it's like, ain't so funny now, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that duct tape national, that's a pretty good trick. But now you run around with the Pole Bar Garage and 2 or 3 other big wigs that goes on. You said you actually knew the vice grip. What's his name, Derek?
Yeah, that's I don't talk to him personally. That's Dalton's.
You know, I'm about to hand it to that old boy. We were down there. We went to the air show in Lakeland, Florida, and while we're down there, they had the what is that called? What was that race they had down there? with the Crown Vics and all that, they have it.
The Cletus thing. Then
they had the
whatever it is,
the 500.
Yep.
And man, they were some serious drivers down there. And old Vice Grip, he held it up there in the front for a pretty good, longer than I thought he was going to, because they had some serious drivers down there. But now that looked like a lot of fun. That just looked like a lot of fun, man. But that was we went down there. While we was down there, they had that, and I thought, well, it ain't far. Let's just go down there and do that. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I could handle that. I love the circle track stuff. So
I could definitely do it on dirt. I'd feel better on dirt.
Yeah, I'm like you. I like it when the hind end comes around. When the hind end comes around on asphalt, it's gone. It's over.
Right. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
you just go fast enough to get it to break loose, and then you got your straightaways. And I would rather do dirt than asphalt. Yeah. But yeah, it's all good.
I like to do it. Well, man, I hate to run, but I have got stuff going on that I've got to get to. And Freedom 500.
Thanks everyone for joining in.
And I'm gonna tell you now, all you folks that's over here that we've done, I'm gonna check and make sure y'all subscribe to y'all's channel, because I don't keep up there, buddy. I'm sure y'all gonna be, a lot of them gonna be at the No Name Nationals or somewhere we're gonna be at. And I think I've got everybody, but that one, yeah, kick me out, please. This guy, who is this guy?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. He apologized.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. Anyway.
Anyway, all right. Thanks for coming in. Sunday night we're on again with everyone else, and then we are trying to organise Pole Barn Garage for next week, but it will probably be later on in the week. Probably be on a Thursday or something, I think. So
you won't want to
see how we go there.
When you dropping them videos, Buff?
So I was hoping to drop one yesterday, and it didn't happen. I got too busy at work. So I've got one coming out probably in the next day or so, but it'll come out for members first. Right. So if they're a member of my channel, they'll get it, and then I'll wait a couple days and then drop it to everybody. So it's not probably Wednesday, Thursday for everybody. And then Pontiac Power Hour Thursday, we got a special.
Yeah, what time's that on Thursdays?
It is 8 p.m. Central. And this week Central. We are doing a tribute to Jim Wangers because he passed away this last week. Big Pontiac advertising dude. So we kind of want to just recap his life while we got the opportunity.
I kind of know that guy. I know who he is. I don't know him at all. I'm gonna hook you up with that Jim Silva. I'll send you his. I don't know if you got it. He's got your contact. I don't know.
Instagram or buffsgarage@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. You'll get Jim. He's got some pretty cool stories. He actually does a Pontiac forum on some kind of, I can't remember. I'm sorry. My brain just goes dead. But he'd be somebody you'd like to talk to, I'm sure, especially.
I'm sure.
Pontiac. So, and he's a sweet guy. So
awesome. Thank you,
man. I hope we didn't waste your time.
Not at all. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Well, I'm out of here, man. You'll kick me out. If you'll kick me out, I'm going.
No, I'm ending now. All right. See you later, everyone.
See ya.
All right.